guys, I'm April Freeman here with the Richmond Public Library, and we are showcasing urban fiction authors. And our first author is Ty Marshall. So this is his new book, y'all. Can you tell us can you tell the readers what it's about?
Love, Seldom Trust Never is a coming of age story about a young man named East, growing up in the streets of Miami, and he's learning the rules of the streets, and he's learning who to trust and who not to trust.
Okay.
And so that's what's going on, and he learns some lessons the hard way, and it just makes him a better. But he goes through a lot. He loses a lot. He has a strong relationship with his mother in the book, and it's just it's a coming of age story, but with a street twist.
Okay.
And it has a lot of, and it's dealing with betrayal. It has elements of mental health awareness in it.
Okay.
I have a character in it that's dealing with mental health awareness, and I talk about how in the Black community,
it's overlooked.
It's overlooked, and when you're growing up, you're told like what happens in this house stays in this house.
This house, yeah.
And
that's
stuff like
true.
that, or you talk, or we think that we don't have to go see that. We think going to therapy is crazy.
Yeah,
we're not going
the belt. You get
we're not going to therapy is actually crazy.
Exactly.
So I actually talk about it's a character dealing with that in the book. And so it was just I rarely touch on stuff like that, but it just was speaking to me in this book, and I just did it.
Does writing energize you or exhaust you?
It's an exhausting process. I will say that. Because I'm an overthinker, so and I pour everything into the book. So when I'm finished writing the book, I'm drained. Usually at the end of the night, when I'm finished writing, I'm drained. So because I try to put everything into it. That's why, I mean, as you know, because you've been following my career, I don't put out books.
No.
A lot. I put, because I take so much time with them, because I want to make sure that when I put a product out that it's received well. I believe that it's a marriage between an author and his readers. And I try to honor that by trying to, give my best effort every time I put a book out. So it's definitely a draining process.
And being that you said that was a good thing, even though I have other questions, let me bounce off that, because you said that you don't put out books that often. How long has your career been in the writing?
I think I released my first book August 1st, 2014 or 2015, one of those years. Eat, Pray, No Love was my first book.
And how many books you have out so far now?
I think 9. I want to say 9 or 10.
All right. Okay.
9 or 10.
And which one has done the most, had the most success as far as financially or even
Keys to the Kingdom series has had the most success financially, but 80s Baby has had the most success. I want to say, like, from the readers, they love that book. Like, they talk about that book a lot. And this new book, Love, Seldom Trust Never, has really, there you go, plug. But it's been getting a lot of good feedback. I released it, I want to say April 29th, like that week, and I only released the paperback via my website, and I sold out. To this point, I think I've sold out 7 times.
Does it help to have a big ego as a writer?
I wouldn't say have a big ego. I think everybody has an ego, but I don't think it helps with a big ego, because when you have a big ego, you can't take criticism well. And as a writer, you have to have thick skin, because everybody's not going to like your work. And you can give the same book to 2 people and get 2 total different reactions because of how it could affect them or how they like it. So you have to have confidence as a writer, but as an ego, you got to really check your ego at the door.
If you had to come back as an animal, which animal would you want to come back to?
That's probably the easiest question you asked today. A lion.
Why? A lion? Why?
I love lions. I watch National Geographic a lot. I'm actually watching a series called Savage Kingdom right now that's about lions in Africa. I love lions. I don't know why. I like watching them. I like observing them, and I just the dynamic of how their family structure is, and it's just really, it's even like a Keys to the Kingdom. If you read that, like you know what I mean. So I kind of like that. They're kind of like lions are kind of like the medieval times people. That's how they kind of operate in their family structure, and it's intriguing to me.
And being that you said that you're an urban fiction author, is that the genre that you basically are comfortable writing in?
I get clumped into urban fiction just like all of us do, but I really think that I write crime fiction. If you look what crime fiction is, I just write from the perspective of the criminal instead of writing from the perspective of the detective. Most crime fiction books are written from the detective's perspective. I write from the criminal's perspective. So that is the genre I feel most comfortable writing in. There'll probably be a time where because I don't really even feel like, even like I said, I have 10 books out. I don't feel solidified in the game. I really feel like there's still millions and millions of readers who don't know who I am. So, but I do feel once I get my where I want to be in this part of the game, I would like to step out and, you know, maybe try my hand at a romance or try my hand at something like that, like a family saga, you know what I mean, that doesn't involve street stuff. You know, I really like the show This Is Us. I don't know if you watched that on NBC. That's like probably one of my favorite shows. And I always sit around and I admire how they write because you buy into the characters and you love Jack and the way it's told. And I told my wife one day, I was like, yo, when I get to the point where I really am, I want to write something like this. So one day.
Can you see yourself writing for a series?
Definitely. Definitely. That's hopefully my long-term goal. That I want to write books and I do want to get into doing television and movies.
When is your best time to write? How do you write? What's your writing, you know?
My writing schedule really is probably 11:30, 12 o'clock, midnight. That's when I'm just getting going. My house is getting quiet. The kids are laying down and the house is quiet. My wife is going to bed for work. She gets up and goes to work early in the morning. And so at night is when I'm a night owl, so I stay up all night writing. I try to write during the day, but sometimes I can, when I'm getting towards the end of a book, I can write during the day, but when I get into the beginning or from just starting, or when I get into the fat of the book, it's usually done at night, and it's usually done 2:30 in the morning, 3 o'clock in the morning.
So how do you write? I mean,
I write out of order. I just said this on another interview, and people looked at me crazy. Sometimes I could write chapter 5, then I'll write chapter 20, then I'll write chapter 3. But when I finish the book, chapter 3 might now be chapter 5. Chapter 5 might be chapter 1. Okay. So I write all over the place. But I usually know the ending when I start a book. For some reason, I always get the ending of the book first. So that's usually where I start. I write the ending of the book. Or even if I don't write it, I have it in my head. Now, there's been times when I was writing, and when I started, I said, okay, the book is going to end like this. And then the story took a life of its own, and it ended a different way. But most of the times I know where I'm going.
Because like sometimes when I read your books, it's like the characters talk to me. It's like, do they talk to you, like tell you where they want to go?
They took it, sometimes, right? All the time, but never as strong as they have in Love, Seldom, Trust, Never. I could not get these characters out of my head. They were talking to me, and then when I finished the book, they're not finished. They want to keep talking. It's not. I don't know yet, but it's like I had to actually take a break to get myself in Keys to the Kingdom mode, just because these characters were still so strong in my head.
Well, I'm definitely going to read it. You know, I read all your books. I'm looking forward to it. Let me ask you a question. Like, how important is the public library to authors, or to you personally?
It's very important because everybody doesn't necessarily have the resources to go to my website and purchase the books, or go to Amazon and purchase the books. And the public library provides With many services. Y'all provide many services.
Yes, many services.
But for the author reader connection, it allows somebody who may not be as in a position where they can just buy tons and tons of books to be able to go to a place and still indulge in reading, which would a lot of people love. And y'all have other things, like y'all have the computer there where people could come from the community and fill out job applications and do stuff like that. The public library is very important, and it's very important for the reader, and it's very important for an author like myself, like I mentioned earlier, especially being an indie author where, you know, we necessarily don't always have access to getting into the public library. So I appreciate y'all so much for bringing me actually to the library the time I came, and for continuing to always stock up on my books. And y'all actually got them for all the branches in Richmond, and I really, 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 really appreciate that.
Well,
because there's going to be
always
somebody,
look out for you.
I appreciate it, because there's going to be somebody who walks in the library and couldn't go on Amazon, and now they stumble upon my book, and now I have a fan, and now I have a reader, and so I appreciate you guys.
All right, thank you, Ty.
All right.
This is my last thing. We appreciate you. I'm gonna always support you. We're gonna support you. Anytime you in this part of the area, please stop by and see us. And I'm gonna give you a review on this, and I'm gonna push this to all the new readers.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Thank you, Ty.